Hello.
Oh boy, here we go. You ready for
What
this
is it?
one?
Here we go.
Here we go. I get I gotta, you get me all fucking worked up with your delays and your late fucking
I
everything.
can't look. I'm a working man.
Yeah, yeah, I work too, my friend.
Okay. Listen,
Uh,
I have to take conference calls and
I know,
calls from
I know.
people,
You
and
listen. You're working, but a lot of times you're working from home. You're working for two
I didn't work
hours.
from home
You're
today. I
this.
had a,
You're
I
that.
was
Don't tell
I
me
was out and about all day.
you rarely put in a real 40-hour week. And besides, let's be honest, uh, your hands are soft as cotton. You're not doing real work. You're not doing man's work over there.
No, I'm
Don't make
I'm
it
doing
sound like
CEO work,
you're
executive
you're doing
executive work.
sitting on your fat ass in a chair work. That's what you're doing.
I walked 6 miles today in locations. That's what I did
From
today.
one fucking chair to another fucking chair. That's what you did. That's what
Lucky
you did.
I barely had time to get lunch in.
Oh well, God forbid you missed a meal.
I
Some
had to squeeze in. I had to get on the go Publix home like ready-made sliders
Let's
out of the
hold on.
deli.
Let's just be honest. How many times did you shit on their dime today?
I
Two
actually
or
I
three?
didn't. I was so busy.
Oh,
I
come
couldn't
on.
shit and had to get a sandwich to
Oh,
go
come
out
on.
of the little deli case because I didn't even
Come
have time to eat.
on. You did have time to eat. You ate, didn't
Well, I
you?
didn't have time to get a nice sub
Oh,
from
a
Publix.
nice sub from
I had to
Publix.
get the
You didn't get.
pre-made
Wait a minute. You
sliders.
didn't mean. You mean you didn't get to take your normal hour 45-minute lunch?
Right, right. Very busy today.
You piece of shit.
Very busy.
Oh.
Yeah. What have you done all day?
Me?
Yeah,
That's a good question. What did I do all day today?
yeah. Probably ate a pizza.
No, I was
Probably
doing. I mean, no, I cooked. I for sure cooked some food, but no, I did a lot of research today. To be honest with you, I was on the
a lot of
computer
research.
all day today.
Listen,
I was
Pornhub is not
no, no,
research.
no, no, no. I did not have any. I listen. My browser only had 3 tabs open, not 43. Okay. Uh,
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So listen, no, I was doing research all day. I was looking up charts. I was fucking doing a little research. I was looking up some stocks. It's a shitty day on Wall Street, and
It was.
and
It was.
and Friday's a holiday, so it's a short week. So I'm just doing some. I was doing some research for Monday. What do you want from
Yeah.
me, my friend? What do you want?
Wow. Well, what'd you eat today? I saw you posted something, but what was it?
It was one of those HelloFresh meals. That's an interesting thing. That's a good. We will. It's going to be a nice transition into a story. That you
Oh no.
you weren't even aware about. What was it though? Oh, it was like some fucking. See, when my roommate orders those things.
Right.
See, okay. In case anyone's new to the game here, my roommate was yeah, long time ago. He was ordering when he had a girlfriend that was kind of like looking like they would move out into their own place. Uh, he was getting these meal kits from HelloFresh, and the idea was that they could cook together and eat together and all that faggy shit. And so they're I used to sit on the couch watching TV while the two of them are in the kitchen, and it was basically like he was trying to get her to cook him a meal. He like she half the time spent either she was cooking or she was yelling at him to get back in there to help her with something. So once that party was over, he had all these credits because they kept delivering the meals on the wrong days, et cetera, et cetera. So he's like, well, if I buy them and you want to just cook them and we'll split them. So I'm like, oh, well, am I going to say no to a free meal? Plus
Right.
I'm a better cook than either of those two jabrones. So especially when it's just follow directions like that. So I was like, all right. So he gets these boxes every week that have like 3 meals and like 3 2-person meals in them, and so like 3 nights or 3 days a week, I cook this thing, I eat half of it, leave the rest for him, and I get a couple free meals, and they keep delivering on the
Not a
wrong
bad gig.
no, and they kept delivering on the wrong day. So he would then yell at them, pretending that he's out of town on Thursday, and that a meal sitting on his porch for 24 hours, getting warm in the Florida sun, doesn't benefit him, and then they would give him a credit. So I mean, he rolled over so many meals. We had so many free boxes come to us. So then here's the thing. Apparently, he talked to our leasing office uh,
Uh-huh.
because we have a mailroom, and what they do is they dump a lot of the boxes in the mailroom, and they don't fit in the mail lockers, which have electronic. You go up to a little kiosk in there, you type your information in, and a locker will pop open, and your stuff's in there, your Amazon stuff,
Right.
your whatever. But these are too big for that, so they just sit on the floor in there, and so I don't know how he got on the topic with them in the what do you call it, the leasing office, but they said, yeah, we throw dozens of those away every week. If they're there overnight, if like we have a person that drives around and at night, like at like 8 o'clock at night or whatever, if there's still like unattended boxes in there, we just chuck them because they like I
What?
guess because the whatever keeps the food cold doesn't last two
Right, it'll
days.
melt.
Right. So the next day they're useless. So now my roommate's got the bright idea to like kind of like hit the mailroom before
Right.
they do, and if there's an unclaimed box in there, he'll just grab it because whatever. So I think we're going to be flushing free food for a while.
The
well,
Hello Fresh scammers.
well,
There's gonna
listen,
be a documentary on YouTube one day.
I said to him, I said, listen, I know they're in there, and that like technically, if your meal doesn't show up or someone steals it or whatever, they're very good about replacing it. So you don't have to feel bad. This is like a victimless crime here. I get it, but since you're no longer buying them and you still want me to cook them, you have to go do the thieving. I'm not doing the thieving.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Plus, I also said, and you could like when we run out of butter or oil or something that are not included but are required for the things, you're gonna have to go buy that shit. So, you know, so so I mean, I mean, it's just a
I
fun.
mean, this is what a scam you two got going on.
Well, except that they're gonna get thrown out. So, what do? You
Here's
just
my question though,
yeah.
because we were telling that part of the story, the guy who throws them out, why wouldn't he just take them home for himself at that point?
Well, that
Why is he
might
throwing away good food?
that might be what they mean by thrown out. For all we know. That's
Mm.
that just because the lady in the leasing office says they're thrown out, and the guy who's supposed to be throwing them out says he threw them out, doesn't mean he didn't take them home and say he threw them out.
It'd be great if the guy is taking home 3 4 boxes a fucking week, and all of a sudden it just stops because you guys are snatching him, and he like
Well,
starts like a sting operation to catch your roommate there
but
stealing
here,
boxes.
yeah, but here's the trick. There is that they say they throw dozens of these boxes out every week. So if we're grabbing one, this guy's never even going to notice. And even if we grab three, if we would grab three a week, it's too much. It's like because it's just like I'm not gonna cook three times a fucking day like that. It's like ingredients and shit like that.
I hope he
It's
gets caught.
it's
I
effort.
hope he gets
It,
caught by the guy in the golf cart, and they have to work out a little deal. That Huss has to end up working out a deal with the guy in the golf
plus
cart just to get the meals.
plus you don't want them like sometimes the food in them, like the ingredients don't
Yeah,
even last a week. When we get one of those boxes, we try and get through it as quick as possible because like things like green peppers and
yeah, they don't
some other
last long.
stuff, it's like or sometimes the potatoes are about to fucking like
Yeah,
someone whatever. Sometimes the shit don't last a full week where you're excited to still be eating it.
right.
But here's the thing. Also, here's two other things. One is that they've started to include they're starting to do like partnerships with food manufacturers. So
Okay.
in the last couple boxes, you just will get random things in there, like to be like I guess to like be like, oh, try these, and if you like them, you can buy them in the store, kind of deal. So we've been getting like like a can of 7-Up in these boxes, and I think
What?
we got a pack of string cheese in one, and yeah, I forget what else. A can of chickpeas that were like
That's weird.
flavored. They had some kind of weird sauce on them.
Right, right, right.
And then I guess these were ordered, but this box had three like little single serving cheesecake things, And
Oh,
well, I know this makes you excited. So he opens the box last night, and I said, because our box had a few in them. So I go, they got any cheesecakes in there? And he's like, yeah, they do. And I go, I go, all right. He goes, do you want them in the fridge or freezer? I go, whatever you want. If you want to defrost them, and he goes, I don't eat cheesecake. I said, well, throw one here
what?
and throw the other two in the fridge. And then I proceeded to eat the other two the same fucking night.
Who doesn't eat cheesecake?
The same fucking guy who doesn't eat pork. So anything with bacon or
Oh,
pepperoni or any of that shit, he doesn't eat any of that shit. He also doesn't eat like fish and shellfish and
what
stuff.
is he like? 4
So
years old? Like
so
seriously?
but so
What?
here's the thing. Here's the other little thing, is that if he grabs the wrong box in there and it's full of like seafood dishes and pork dishes, he's fucked. And then I get then it serves then I've got two meals that day instead of one.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Jesus. While you were telling this story, I got to kind of backtrack to something.
yeah.
You said Huss and his girlfriend, they were going to move out. Did you set up like a breakup so that he wouldn't leave you?
No,
I
no,
feel like
no,
that's what happened.
no. But if you remember, as the date of our like, there's like this date when you're leasing
Oh,
where they offer you a new contract,
right,
and it's like ahead of time. They want you to sign a lease ahead of time. So it's it's not like the date that, like, if you don't sign it by this date, you're moving out the next month. It's
oh,
months and months in advance. And for like a good part of that year, these two were talking about like getting a place together, to the point
right.
where like I started to just casually like look on the computer to see like places for myself, or if I wanted to. My name's not on this lease. Uh,
Right,
like maybe I should just add my name to the lease, and then he can go and I can just stay here. So I
right,
was like
right.
weighing my options, but I was making these little joking comments to like maybe you
Yeah.
and some other people, like, yeah, he's supposed to be moving in with her, but we'll see. I kept going, we'll see. And literally, like, I think a week or two before, it was close. It was within a month of having to turn these papers in, whether we were re-signing the lease or something. He just comes in one night and goes, well, I guess I'm re-signing that lease with you. It was it was getting down to the wire, but I kept going. "Well, we'll see. We'll see, because I just
Right,
he has this track record with girls.
right.
He's
I figured you set up
they
some
last they last a certain amount of time, and then they move
like he
on.
walked in that night and he was like, "Yeah, she found a letter on my window," and you're like, "No, I don't know anything about it."
Yeah, this letter, like, listen, bitch, I've become accustomed to
Yeah.
a certain like a certain lifestyle here.
Oh, that's funny. So, is that what the big news you had was? Is that he's snatching Hello Freshes
Well, it's
from the
not the big
office?
news, but you brought up the HelloFresh thing, so I was
Oh,
like, that's funny you mentioned that, because now we're
oh,
I
yeah.
feel like we're now I don't know what the right word is. Are we're we are we're claiming items.
Unclaimed boxes.
Yeah, they're like listen, the front office says we throw these out. So if
Right,
we're if he goes there late at night and there's still a couple boxes sitting there, and he knows that in 10 minutes they're gonna go lock the mailroom up and throw these at the same time, take all the food boxes
right.
out of there, then I mean, he's whatever. He's
I guess they have to because it would probably start to stink if they didn't.
Well, if you leave a box,
You know?
I mean, maybe they're kind of insulated, so maybe that would keep the smell from leaching out. But
Yeah,
and
but how many? I
and
mean, not very long.
and because all the food, well, all the meats, all the
Mhm.
frozen stuff is also supposed to be vacuum sealed in these plastic,
Right.
packages that you might have a day or two before those explode. Because I've seen where where the box got warm, and those balloon because the bacteria starts to grow in the sealed thing and it expands until it bursts. So Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I had when I had gotten the box from that Italian place, they had put the ice things in it, but like I couldn't pick it up for like a couple days or something, and one of the boxes it exploded. I mean, the whole box was like soaking wet, and
Yeah.
I had to throw some stuff away. But
Well, that's just
yeah,
because the ice packs probably
yeah.
caused either melted or one of those leaked or there it was some condensation thing. But I don't think your pizzas. Well, if you said there was water all over the place, I don't know what that have to do with a pizza thing breaking. I don't
No,
know.
something exploded in there.
Yeah,
So
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, wait.
Well,
When
well,
you
I,
when
I
you open those, they were still not. They were still cool, right?
yeah, except for the one box,
Right.
like
Right. Right.
wasn't.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
but so I get you're talking about packages here. I get a Facebook message, but it's in like the message request, but it's like under my fan page, like my AJ Slambino fan page. And I'm like, I never get messages on that. So I go read it, and it's a guy that's like, hey, I live in the same town as you, and apparently I got a box that belongs to you to my house, uh, and it's from the UK. Like, I don't know how it got to me. So I wrote him back, and I was like, oh, I was like, hey, yeah, I mean, I guess it's mine. And he was like, yeah, it was sent to AJ Slambino. And he goes, I literally searched AJ Slambino on Facebook, and boom, here's your fan page. And I was sending you a message to come, get the box. So I was like, where's the box? He's like, oh, I brought it back to the post office. So now I have no idea where this box is. No clue. Because the post office was like, he was like, oh, I brought it to them. They were going to like re-ship it. I'm like, to where? So I'm going to go to the post office tomorrow and see where the hell my box is.
Well, it was addressed, but he said it was. Was it addressed to his house?
No, to mine,
You're sure?
to my P.O. box. And he
Oh,
goes, I
well
don't know
then.
how it got to my house, though.
Oh, okay. Well then, maybe it'll end up in your PO box.
I don't know. I was going to go to the post office tomorrow and say, where's my box?
Well, that's a good plan.
Yeah. So, yeah, but, it's nice to have the fan page. They search for the guy, probably thinks I'm famous now in town. It's probably like, this guy's a famous guy. So, you know, it's probably what happened. I'm just saying.
More likely he's like I never heard of this guy.
Never heard of this guy. Who the fuck is this guy?
Who'd he ever beat?
Who do you... Oh, let's talk about that. Because we have not spoke about what happened today. You were pissing people off on TikTok.
Well, okay, so I scrolled through TikTok a lot, and there's like, I guess because I'm into pro wrestling and whatever, I get like a lot of in my feed or my what is that called, the For You Pay channel or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of like people that are like amateur expert talking heads. They just feel like they're compelled every day to go on TikTok and give their takes on wrestling and their opinions
Right.
on wrestling, whatever. And 9 times out of 10, if someone's posts start popping up in my feed a lot, I'll just click on the profile and block them. I'm like, this is fucking garbage. I'm not even
Right.
rewarding this person with 2 seconds worth of
Time.
time as it scrolls through. It's just awful. These people have like nobody needs your opinion on this stuff all over social media. It's just fucking.
Uh-huh.
So this one guy's kid just like I don't know why. Sometimes you stop on something and you don't even realize you're actually watching it until you're done watching it 3 times in a row. But one guy's giving a hot take on something. I think it was on Cody Rhodes, and the guy
Yeah.
you just tell the guy doesn't know anything. He's just fucking like doesn't know anything. He knows Cody Rhodes back from the last like 2 years. He even said I don't know anything about New Japan. Blah blah blah. I'm like, well, he fucking made his bones over there after he left the WWE. If you don't know half of the shit that would qualify you for an opinion on this, then shut the fuck up.
Can I just ask one thing? Was it, from what I got out of it, that he was a wrestler too? This guy.
I don't know what he is because that would involve more research than I care to give. I just saw this awful.
I'm just going by what he was saying.
Why? Because he fucking used fucking buzzwords from that wrestlers use that also every mark in the business uses now, or what?
Because he was like very mad at what you said, but he kept saying like,
Well,
"Who you should ask? Well, who did I ever draw?" And I'm like, "How would you draw if you weren't a wrestler?"
well, here's he didn't he obviously wasn't a worker because of what I said. He didn't get it. He didn't get the
Yeah,
joke. Is that
no,
I was like it's kind of like a thing when the who'd he ever beat thing. It's just a wrestling thing. It's funny,
right.
and it's like never heard of him. Send me a tape. Same thing. So he's giving this hot take, and I just comment. Who'd you ever beat? Like to be like to qualify you to be giving opinions on this or whatever. And so he did the quote thing on it and fucking
Right, like made a video
and
about
made a
it.
whole video about it, and I'm laughing because this proves he doesn't have enough knowledge of the business to be giving an opinion on the business if he doesn't get a joke. This joke.
His video though was like it wasn't. He didn't get the joke.
He was angry and he took it way too seriously.
Right, and he kept saying, "I can't curse because TikTok keeps taking down my videos. But if I could curse, I would say more." He said that like 3 times. Like
Right.
he couldn't say more because he was going to curse, and if he cursed, they'd pull his videos
Well, to
down.
be honest, I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched enough.
Oh, I did because I was like, "What is he talking about?"
And so I'm just like, this proves my whole point. That you have this terrible take on something that sounds like you're just completely ignorant of what you're talking about, and that you haven't either you don't have the knowledge or haven't done the research enough to
Right.
really that you have any business be speaking on it as if you're an authority that deserves to have his opinion heard on it. And then when I make this comment, which is an inside reference to the business, that goes right over your head and you get offended by it, which proves again that you shouldn't be talking about this shit. So it was very validating. And so I was just like, I was shocked. No one's ever like made a video quote. Not that I comment that much on anything, but no one's ever done a quote video like that on me. So
And he got so mad.
I popped so hard and I just immediately sent it to you. And I never heard from you off of it. So I'm glad
I wanted to comment. I started to type and comment, and I said, "No, I don't want to get involved," because I started to comment. Okay, so you didn't answer the question. Who'd you ever beat? I wanted to write it again just to piss him off, and I was like, "No, I don't want to get involved with this guy. He sounds like he's off his rocker."
Yeah, dude, his cheese slid off his cracker or something. I don't know. He's not he definitely isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually have a shirt that says "Who'd you ever beat?"
Right.
I have a shirt that says that.
Right, because it's a wrestling thing. If you don't get these simple things, these very simple things that like you would just pick up, because if you were like even just scrolling through other wrestlers' Twitters,
right.
They use that term. Who'd he ever beat?
Right. Or send me a tape, like
right.
you said. Yeah.
Yeah. Can he?
Never heard of him.
Or like when they see someone do if they see someone that's not in wrestling do a great quote promo, they go, "Yeah, but can he bump?" That kind of thing. It's along those lines. I was just like, okay, you proved my point.
This guy took it serious, like you were really asking him, "Who do you ever beat?"
Right. He didn't get it. He did not get it, and so
no.
I'll probably next time he pops up in my thing a lot, and I should have just blocked him, but instead I fucked with him, and I kind of enjoyed it. I
thought it was hilarious.
Yeah,
I watched the whole video. I was like,
this
guy's nuts.
Yeah. I might have to fuck with more of these people.
Yeah, it's not a bad move.
Or
not a bad move.
Just be this guy's nemesis.
Yeah, true. So speaking of nemesis, I hate to keep talking about wrestling, but it sounds like Marco's return to the ring against Gator Boone King III, it may come to an end because the Boone Hunter sounds like he's done with the business.
I didn't read that
from
either.
His Facebook post.
I saw that he did some kind of rant, one of those vague book rants about somebody or something.
Yeah.
And you guys,
he's done. He's done. He's angry.
What happens is you guys send me these things, and I like to sleep until about 9:00. So anything comes in before 9, I don't see until I wake up, and then I'm all crusty eyed and blurry. And you send me these things that are tiny type, and I can't see them, so I kind of try to read them, and if it's too difficult, I just move on. So this was another one of those where I was like, I saw he got his panties in a bunch about something, but I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, and I remember Marco saying I'll ask him about it, and then we never
Yeah, I
got
never saw a response. Yeah.
well, he said he hadn't heard from him back. He hadn't heard
Yeah.
back from him. So, yeah. What was he
Yeah.
upset about? Was it
Somebody,
specific?
yeah, I think somebody was calling him a mark. I don't know, and he got upset about it.
Mm.
Yeah.
If
So
you get
I just
if you actually get upset about being called a mark, you're probably a mark.
right.
You know what I mean?
I all I could think was is this is it. We'll never get the match we all wanted to see. Sean Prime versus the Gator King Boone Hunter.
Let me tell you something right now. Nothing would be more satisfying to me than for Marco to have actually traveled up to Tampa to put these gears in motion, and now has been like probably at least watching what he eats and starting to work out and
Right.
start like getting mentally prepared to get back in the wrestling ring again. Enough that like what's 2 months he's been kind of preparing
Yeah.
starting this to then have it all fall apart on him. Nothing would please me more.
That would be pretty funny, quite honestly.
Because
That was my first thought when I saw it.
because there's the payoff for that is way more rewarding than him just getting to wrestle a few more times, because we could just bust his balls about that for the next 5 fucking years. Like
Right.
that's a greater reward than any.
Oh, 100% it's a greater reward. Right.
That's the gift that keeps giving right there. So
Right. We could just keep throwing it at him that he never got his chance to take down the Gator Hunter.
still got that
You know?
still got that stuff in the basement. Never got it resolved.
Never got it resolved.
Then we could just keep teasing him about coming out of retirement to resolve it.
Right.
We'll just pick some more fucking mud show workers. Go, I hear this guy needs someone to work. You think you want to go work with him?
Mud show workers. Well, it's funny. I hate that we're talking about wrestling, but in the other thread I'm in, they had like sent some stuff about guys like starting to put their wrestling resumes like on Facebook, and they sent somebody specific resume, and I'm like looking at it, and it's like heavyweight champion of the Christian Combat Wrestling Society, and I'm like, this guy's really putting on this resume that he's the heavyweight champion of the Christian Combat. First of all, a religious combat wrestling club, like what? Like that's the most absurd thing ever. And I'm like looking at this, and it's like, New Japan Pro Wrestling. I'm like, when did that guy ever do New Japan? It's like, oh, he did a job match in the LA one. I'm like, these guys are really putting this on their resume. Like, that's like,
well, that was
insane.
That was the tweet that we saw today.
Yeah. So I saw they physically sent someone's resume, and I was like, wow, these wrestlers are delusional.
Yeah.
Absolutely delusional. But that's enough wrestling talk. We're probably bored everybody now.
I'm bored listening to you in general. So
Yeah, I just don't like wrestling. It's stupid. Except for AEW on Wednesday nights.
right. Today's Tuesday, so we got nothing to talk about.
I know. I got one more day. Yeah. I mean, we can always talk about food. It's always a good topic.
Yeah. We don't have to do 3-hour-long podcasts every week. We could do one that's 28 minutes and 58 seconds.
Yeah, it's true. We could talk. I mean, we could talk other sports.
Well, I need to. Well, okay. Let me make a note here. I'm gonna write 2 things down right now. Nick and other sports, which right now. Okay. First of all, I need an update on your son, Nick the Dick.
So he's been working like 10-hour days.
Where's he working again?
Zoomies.
Is that in a mall?
So it's in an outlet mall, and they're putting the store together. The grand opens like this weekend.
Oh, they're not open
So
yet. I was going to try to send people over to harass him. Anyway.
No, so what he does is he's been going in and setting up the store, but like, a lot of the kids want to leave at 8:00, and he was like, "Hey, can I stay? Because they're asking me to stay." I was like, "Dude, you want to work." So he's been putting in work, but today he went to work.
I can't wait till he gets the fucking retail experience, though. like dealing with
Well, there's two things
people,
I'll tell you I can't wait.
customers.
There's two things. We'll get to that in a second. But he went to work today. When he got there, they were like, "Hey, we're done. The store's ready to go for Friday." Like they didn't need him, so he went home. But there's two things. One is the retail experience because it's a whole nother animal, right? Like you got to deal with people and angry customers and just weird people. But the second thing is when he gets that first paycheck and he realizes that the government takes their cut, and he's going to be like, "What the hell? This isn't what I'm going to be like." Yeah, paying your taxes, pal.
Yeah, it's gonna
Welcome,
be good.
welcome to adulthood. But the last two nights, I pick him up at 10 o'clock, and he doesn't like speak. Like he doesn't even say a word. Like the drive home is a half hour. It's only like 11 miles, but it's local roads and lights. And he doesn't say a word. He's just like sits there with his head down. So yesterday I was like, "You're all right?" He's like, "I'm exhausted." He's like, "My feet hurt, my back hurts." He's like, "I'm so tired." He goes, "It's to the point where I'll be getting home and I can't even play video games. I have to just shower and go to bed." I was like, "Yeah, welcome to being a fucking adult. This is what happens,
Oh, I
pal."
love the humbling, the
Right.
great humbling of
Oh,
2022 here.
it's such a humbling experience for him. So glad. So glad. Yeah.
This is tremendous.
So and so today when they told him he didn't have to work, he came back home and he went right to sleep because he's like exhausted. So good for him. Good. You know what?
Your
He
life must
deserves
be
it.
so much more peaceful now.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, except for having to pick him up because he doesn't have a car, but you know that's the only part. But otherwise,
Bro,
I,
he's going to be like out of the house like X
right,
number of hours a day. So you don't have to see his fucking face.
right.
And you don't have to hear his fucking mouth. And then when he is home, he's so fucking tired from working.
He just sleeps.
he doesn't have the energy for the shitty attitude. This is
Yeah,
tremendous.
it is. Like he's sleeping. He didn't even eat dinner. Like he's sleeping. He's
Yeah,
out. He's tired.
it's beautiful.
Welcome to the real world, pal.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
So yeah,
regretting not making him do this 2 years ago.
right. And so here's my thing. If they grand open this weekend, I guess they're supposed to. I'm going in there, and I'm going in there I just need to see this firsthand. Him getting his ass whooped by customers. Like I
I want you to be standing at the window outside filming him working
right.
for like a good 5-6 minutes until he sees you there.
Like I just feel like yeah this is
Listen, you should film him for like 10 minutes and then have pay Blake the fucking uh you know
voiceover it.
call it like a fucking
First of all, I'm not paying Blake shit.
well when I say
Fuck
pay
him.
Blake I
I
just
gave him his
I
first gig in the fucking wrestling scene down here. You don't need to pay.
yeah but he's
Fuck
gonna
him.
ask for a pay you just tell him you'll get him. I'll get you, don't worry, I'll get you and then never
Fuck
pay,
him.
just stiff him.
Yeah. But yeah, I can't wait. You know what the other part that's funny is he's like, they had bought food for them the first couple of days, like, pizza. And then the one day he was like, "Hey, uh, can you send me $10?" I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "Because they didn't buy lunch, and I'm on lunch right now, and like KFC is right there." He's like, "I'm gonna go get some KFC," and I was like, "Boy, that first paycheck, you better like when that first paycheck hits, and you ask me for lunch, I'm gonna be like, you should probably save your money better. You're gonna starve today because." He didn't realize that you have to buy lunch every day if you're working 10-hour days. Like you got to
or
eat
or don't eat, like God forbid you don't eat
or
for
bring
10
your
hours
lunch.
Yeah, or bring a
Make a
lunch.
couple peanut
Right,
butter and jelly
make
sandwiches.
some Sammys, right, all
All right,
kinds of solutions.
all right. So we'll see what happens. But then last night they got food again for them. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, they got Little Caesars.
that ain't gonna last forever.
No, but good for him. And the reason I said talk about other sports is I saw a rumor today
Oh, here we go. Which rumor is this?
that Julian Edelman
No,
is going to come back to play. Is it
I think
possible that he can
I
play for the Buccaneers with
I
Tom Brady?
I'm 100% sure that's an old rumor that's being recirculated again. There's
Uh huh.
first of all, he can't play in the NFL without being completely full of Russian and Mexican vitamins. he won't be able to pass a piss test.
Oh.
At 2, I think you could probably at his I mean come on, he's got white boy disease. He's not still fast and good. Like there's
Oh.
just you can probably get. I mean, listen, the draft's in what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Just draft a fucking receiver. Why would you want Julian Edelman back? I mean, come on.
Listen,
I'm offended by.
you guys had
I'm
Tom
offended
Brady,
on
the
the race
Dolphins
of
talk for a
on
couple
behalf.
days.
I'm offended on behalf of all of us Jews here with this Julian Edelman shit. That guy
This
needs
Julian
to.
Edelman.
This guy.
Be
Needs
careful
to,
what you say. You may upset Blake.
This guy needs to sit back down. Listen,
Blake Mazel Tov, Bar Mitzvah Blake.
Let me tell you, I'm as much of a Jew as he is. So, I'm the same half Jew he is. So, I claim.
Wow.
Right. So let's not get get too holier than thou about things like Blake.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for football season. I honestly, I can't wait for football season because
do you think
I can't wait to see what the Dolphins do.
Right. Well, I was gonna say the draft is like literally 2 weeks away. We literally have like 2 holes to fill. That's it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. We have so much speed on the offense right now. We have 2-4-2 guys.
Right.
We have 2-4-2 guys. I think we have 2-4-3 guys. And I think even our fucking tight end is 4-5. Like that.
Well, it's funny at work they were asking, about a store on the west coast of Florida, and the guy says, "Well, we don't want the Dolphin stuff. Get rid of it." And the guy running the call said, "This is going to be my only warning to you. If the Dolphins are good and make the playoffs, do not ask for this stuff back because we ain't sending it back to you." The guy's writing them off. I've been a fan since '71. This ain't happening. I'm like, what kind of fan? I was like, what is this, Marco in this guy's body? Because he's bashing the Dolphins and he's a fan.
Only happy when he's miserable.
Right.
This team, it has so much speed on it. It is going to have such a different offense that the AFC's not used to. That it's going to be a learning curve for other defenses to figure out how to deal with it. And then figuring out how to deal with it is different from having the personnel that are able to deal with it. You may know how to deal with it, but not have the people in place to be able to deal with it. This is going to be quite a fucking fireworks show. I'm telling you now.
I mean, we're a couple of months out, but exciting.
And there's still Debo talk out there. The guy wants to be fucking let go. The guy wants to come here. So you try and trade him to another team. Nobody's trading for him for 1 year. And Debo will sit out for that team as much as he would sit out for the 49ers. So they're going to have to deal with us if he demands to be traded. And that might be coming. So listen, if we get him on here too, it's over. It's done. I mean,
I agree.
It's done.
I got nothing else. That's it.
That's fine. I'm very excited for the Dolphins. What's funny is that
I am, and I'm not even a Dolphins fan.
But they've got for the last couple of years, maybe the last 5 or 6 years, I've been so disinterested other than game day to just watch the game, that I don't even know. Usually I don't know really the roster. I just learn it on the game days and stuff. I don't pay attention to the draft. I don't fucking go to message boards and YouTube, etc. I'll tell you, every day I'm going on YouTube to see if there's new news. I'll tell you, you know what the best thing was before we get out of here? So Tua took some shots. He had that luau thing that for his foundation.
Right.
And I think last year it wasn't here. It was in Hawaii. He's only done it for 2 years. So this year it's here. And he was they were interviewing him, and he was talking about how wonderful it was to have all of his his position coach, his offensive coordinator, his head coach all came, and he made it sound like this would have never happened last year.
With the shitbag over there,
with that scumbag Flores, that terrible coach. So
Right.
like it was just like such like that's as much like this guy's like he's such a like he stays out of the mud so much that that's as much of a shot as you can get out of him, and it was totally a shot. It was like yeah, like I'm just like it's so nice to have all these people here and supporting you and whatever. Like, and you know he wasn't just talking about at his fundraise at his
Well, I mean,
charity.
like maybe even, they were still questioning him last year. Maybe it's because of the coach. Maybe it wasn't Tua the whole
I
time.
I'm telling you, it's like he wouldn't have been drafted fifth in the draft if he
Right.
wasn't good. You can go back a little bit before and look at his college stuff and go, oh, this is a good fucking player. And then you see him uh, in a system where the guy doesn't believe in him and no one knows how to use him, and
Uh-huh.
you're like, oh, he still did well in spite of that. And in spite
Right.
of them trying to replace him, et cetera, et cetera. So it's like, yeah, now we're going to have a guy that believes in him
Right.
and is going to surround him with talent and play to his strengths. Gee, since he still was like one of the best completion percentage guys last year. Imagine what he's going to do this year with an offense that's
Yeah,
going
I
to be
agree.
totally
I'm
catered
excited
to
to
him.
see it.
I, I think this guy's going to fucking show out.
Yeah, I'm excited for the
You
Dolphins.
don't need him to take more than one or
No.
two shots downfield a game. This offense
Right.
is not going to be built on yards after catch. So,
Nope.
yeah. So now here we go. Here
Yep.
we go. Just
Well,
get those guys
we'll
in
see.
space and see what happens.
I'm here for it.
I know you are. What else you got? You got anything? Or is this
That's
one
it.
of those podcasts where we basically are just fulfilling an obligation here?
We are fulfilling an
We are
obligation.
we are completely fulfilling an obligation today, just to get together, chit
Yeah.
chat a little bit, and
Right.
yeah,
All right. I got nothing else.
that's fine. I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go.
eat some pasta.
I might cook another one of these HelloFresh meals.
All right. Good luck.
All right, fat boy.
Yeah. Goodbye.
I guess I'll. Well, I guess I'll talk to you tomorrow during wrestling.
AEW. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. Fuck off.